There will always be someone better than you, more talented, more successful, and more consistent. So, what's the point of even trying? That question almost made me quit music, not just once in my life. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how comparison is killing your growth and what to do instead. Hey everyone, Mark here. Today we're talking about something I guess all of us struggle with, and that is comparing ourselves to others. Whether it's money, status, skills, or success. We constantly feel like we are behind, and as musicians, it's even worse. We're posting online, seeing viral videos and millions of streams, and suddenly we feel like we're not good enough. And instead of trusting the process, we start doubting ourselves. So let's break this down, and more importantly, find a way out of it. I think it is human nature to compare ourselves to others. We look at what other people are achieving and measure ourselves against it. And I've experienced this in my own life. It can either push you forward or it can pull you down. And it happens everywhere. In school, in sports, in fitness, in your career, and especially in music. There will always be people who seem more talented, who achieve things faster, or who simply put in more work over a longer period of time. And when we don't have what they have, that's when it starts. We feel behind. We feel unsatisfied, maybe even depressed, or even jealous. But here's the important part. If you zoom out and look at it objectively, it has nothing to do with you. I repeat that. It has nothing to do with you. And I'll come back to that later. So instead of trying to eliminate comparison, which is almost impossible, we have to find a way how to deal with it. And for me, that comes down to two things: appreciation and self-reflection. Appreciation for the work, time, and discipline someone else has put in to get where they are. And self-reflection to ask yourself, am I actually doing my best? And am I putting in the time, work, and effort required to grow? If the answer is no, well then change it. Or be honest with yourself and accept it. If the answer is yes, then you have to trust the process. Because the outcome is not in your control, only the input is. And that's where you need to find your true fulfillment. I've made a whole video about that topic. If you want to watch that, I'll link it up here. So now let's talk about what happens when comparison destroys your confidence. If you focus too much on other people and their success, two things can happen. It can either inspire you to put in more effort, more time, and more work to reach your goals, or it can slowly drag you down and destroy your confidence. Well, this chapter is about the second one, and I know this from my own experience. For example, I was practicing guitar for hours every single day, and I went to jam sessions, and then one day a younger player came on stage and he was just absolutely killing it. And instead of being inspired by it and appreciate it, it hit my confidence and it also triggered my imposter syndrome. I was also posting 3 reels a day for about a year and nothing really happened. So I started questioning everything: our songs, my voice, and even the way I look. Because I was constantly comparing myself. And at the same time, I saw other artists go from 0 to 100 in a single month. It was one viral video and they started touring, their fan base exploded, and everything took off. And back then, music was the only thing I focused on. My last video is about the different areas of life, which I hadn't been focusing on back then. So when that didn't work out the way I expected, I lost my confidence. I lost joy in what I was doing, and honestly, I felt depressed. I also couldn't adopt a giver mindset anymore, and I couldn't genuinely appreciate the success of others. Instead, I gave away my control and lost my sense of direction. And even though I tried to overcome that jealousy, it kept creeping back in, again and again. The only thing that helped me was stepping away from it all for a while. And that distance allowed me to refocus on myself, on my values, and on my own process. So let's talk about why you can't fully escape comparison and why that's okay. As I said before, you can't just switch off your feelings. And that's okay, because that's what makes us human. What actually matters is how you respond to them. So let's say you're scrolling on the socials and you see a video from a musician going viral. Your first reaction might be jealousy. You can't control that because it already happened. What you can control is what you do next. Instead of reacting emotionally, you reflect. You zoom out, and that's exactly where the shift happens. Because reflection turns comparison into fuel, and it also builds character. And over time, those feelings don't disappear, but they lose their power. You learn how to handle them, but only if you're willing to face them instead of avoiding them. So now let's talk about how to make that shift from comparison to inspiration. When you truly understand the importance of reflecting on your feelings, you're ready to make the shift. And the shift is simple, turning comparison into inspiration. And once that happens, everything changes. Comparison is no longer something that pulls you down. It becomes fuel, motivation, and drive. You stop focusing on what you lack and you start seeing what's possible. It's a shift from feeling behind to working toward your full potential. Because when you look at other people's success stories, you realize something. They didn't get there overnight, of course. They tried and they failed and they kept going over and over again until they succeeded. And that's the part we often forget. But there's a trap here. You can also get stuck in inspiration without ever taking action. Scrolling, watching, consuming, feeling motivated, but doing nothing. And I've been there. That's why I started limiting certain apps on my phone to protect my focus and my time. Because sometimes it's only one post to spark motivation to pick up the guitar, to write a new song, or to change your life. You don't need more than that. So here are the key takeaways. Accept the feeling when comparison shows up. Don't fight it. Instead, reflect on it. And then use it as fuel for your own journey. And focus on writing your own story. So I hope this video gave you a new perspective if you're struggling with comparison or self-doubt. If it did, leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Also, let me know in the comments how you're dealing with comparison in your own life. And if you want to dive deeper into topics like this, feel free to join me in my Mindset Monday newsletter. Link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.